Should I start? It just like, let's admit, Cyril had a party. Now I have more slides to present. Today we are going to speak about Einstein Trust Layer. So under the hood, let's first see this slide so you know who are the speakers. I will introduce myself first. I'm Ekaterina, Obolenskaya, too long. Just call me Ekat, it's fine. It's more efficient, fast to pronounce. I am a Salesforce marketing champion from the moment it was officially announced by Salesforce, so already 3 years in a row. I'm a specialist in full stack marketing cloud, personalization, engagement, intelligence, plus now focused on data cloud and AI for sure. I'm a world explorer and road trip passionate, so traveling here and there around, and of course Team T and Team Spritz. Now it's time to present Cyril, my co-speaker today.
Yep. Hello everyone, so thank you for being here first, and sorry again for being late. Technical issue. So my name is Cyril Louis, and you can call me Cyril. And so I'm Salesforce MVP and also quite an enthusiast on the old marketing cloud portfolio. This also includes data cloud and all this AI stuff. So there is a link with this Einstein Trust Layer. I do a lot of things on the board. So if it's during the summer, it will be wakeboard or surf also. And in the winter, it's the snowboard. So it's gonna come. And I'm also Team T. I usually don't drink coffee. And not spritz, but rum.
Yeah, yesterday he actually
some of you guys know that already.
Yes, yesterday we...
You might have seen this.
Yep. SkiForce team as well.
SkiForce team also. You might have seen that slide before. If it's not the case, forward-looking statement, if you have a purchasing decision, you should base it on what is currently available. And because we will address an Einstein Trust Layer, which is quite new, we might discuss features that are not yet available or still pilot. So again, take your purchasing decision on what is currently available. That's it. And now...
Okay, I will then test this thing. So let's start and kick off with some numbers, because we all love numbers. And yeah, what is AI FOMO? It's the fear of missing out the possibilities of artificial intelligence technology. And you know that 77% of businesses are actually worried about missing out the generative AI tool in their current work processes. The thing is that, yeah, using AI, it gives a lot of possibilities, but it also places a lot of risks, because the system, overall, is not controlled much. And of course, as statistics shows, 65% of CEOs actually think that they need to address social, ethical, and criminal risk related to AI. So even currently, some businesses protect their workspace and require permission to use AI tools at the workspace for their employees. Besides that, 70% of employees still using, let's say, ChatGPT and other tools that might be blocked, but they still use it and not telling to their bosses.
Yeah, actually, it is not just that you're using without telling the boss. It's sometimes they're using even if it's unapproved by the company. And worst, even if it has been banned by the company. So it's clearly fear of missing out. I don't want to be out of that wave. I will use it no matter what. So here there is a huge gap in trust and security. So basically what you need to do to be sure that everybody will use AI correctly. We have top 3 safe use. So basically it's just use the tool that have been approved. Make sure you're done sharing sensitive information, confidential information, private information. And in terms of ethical, the first one, very important, you need to double check what the AI will give you as an output. But also you need to make sure accuracy of the output. So what would be the the quality of the output of the generative AI.
So then it becomes a question. So we want to use the power of AI, but we need to balance it with trust and security. We need to have some measures to control how our data is used, how it's protected and secure, and then to leverage the benefits of generative AI while maintaining the trust and security comes with the answer of Einstein Trust Layer. Yes.
Woohoo!
Keep your data safe. So what does Einstein Trust Layer do? It's a security layer placed between the operation, between you place a prompt containing your data. Data can be stored in CRM, data cloud. We will have a further view on our next slides. So it can be both structured and unstructured data. But then before it goes into some large learning models, language models, I guess, to actually use the power of, let's say, OpenAI ChatGPT, Einstein Trust Layer helps you to secure the data retrieval, to do dynamic grounding. All of this will be covered today, to make some audit, toxicity detection, and zero retention modeling so that your data is not passed unsecurely to some third-party tool.
Yeah, so Einstein Trust Layer is not an LLM. First information you should be like, it's a layer between the LLM and your data. So what do we have in it? What we will see today? A lot of information on that slide. Actually, what we will see is what Einstein Trust Layer will give you as capabilities before the content generation, during the content generation, and also after the content generation. And with all those 3 steps, you will ensure trust and security of your data. Let's jump into it. First part, before the generation. So we'll see what we can do. But the first information is AI is only as good as your data. I'm not saying that it's the garbage in, garbage out. I'm just saying that for the data output to be relevant, you need to add context, additional information. You need to help the system to give you good output. So you need your data. As a simple example, you could ask ChatGPT, for instance, to write you an introduction email. So you can say, please write me an email, blah, 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 and you will have the output. The problem is that ChatGPT is not trained on your data. So most of the time, the output will be too generic. So what you can do, you can add data to ground the prompt with your knowledge. You can give additional information such as who you are, where you're working for. Who is your customer? How many times is your customer? What is the lifetime value? What is the preference, product preferences? And based on this, for sure, the output will be more relevant. But we cannot expect the user to put all this information every time. Time consuming. So this is also why Einstein Trust Layer will give you the prompt builder, and the prompt builder will automatically add data. But where are the data?
Where are the data? So there are 3 paths to enrich your prompts with customer data. And first goes, of course, number 1, CRM data that can help you to enrich your prompt with customer data. For instance, let's say when you try to solve a case through Service Cloud and attach some sort of knowledge article coming from your knowledge base. And yeah, that's how basically the output will be more precise to solve the case. Then we have some external data that we can bring in through MuleSoft integration technology. So here, simply said, like if you have some ERP and you want this data to be used to enrich your prompts, then you use the power of MuleSoft that will be connected to Einstein GPT and or like any external enterprise system directly. So that, for instance, you can support the solve of your case with accounts case history. And the last but not least is my favorite, Data Cloud, because Data Cloud is data orchestration tool that connects many data sources. So again, you use the power of data cloud enablement, where data from commerce, data from purchase history can be used to, again, enrich the prompt with the available data and make the more precise response. So let's dive deeper on our prompt journey, so how it works in practice. Let's say some service agent has a case, a customer case to solve, and because a prompt builder has some specific buttons that you can just click, and then the prompt will be generated. Salesforce Einstein Trust Layer enables you with some prompt templates already that you might use the power of. And the thing is that service agent doesn't have the access to this prompt especially, but it's just like the overall, for instance, click the button to solve the case. And then prompt is ready. Prompt might look like this. There are, as you can see, some placeholders. That is the power of Einstein Trust Layer, because you can fulfill these placeholders with the data coming from the sources, CRM or ERP or data cloud or whatever else. And then the context of your prompt will be updated according to the customer situation, like what's there. We have, on the next step, we have secure data retrieval. Why it's secure is because your data is not only fulfilled with the customer case attached data, like, yeah, you're an agent at Cumulus Financial, and your client is Denise, and blah, blah, blah. But the thing is that the case is solved by some service agent, and this service agent in the tool has specific access and authorization to the data. And then, again, Einstein Trust Layer helps us, because data fulfilled in this prompt are only the data that the service agent is authorized to access. And of course, it's updated relevantly to the case. So if the case is solved for another client, the client's data will be fulfilled. But the thing is that, next slide, that of course, customer data could be enough, but for our prompt journey, it's not enough. We need something else. We need something to support the case solution. And it can be, let's say, a knowledge article that the client can use, go into, and explore more details. So here it comes the part of dynamic grounding, because the more grounded our prompts, the more precise information we will get as a response. In our case, we wanted to retrieve data from knowledge article base, but there are multiple of possibilities. It could be product catalog, it could be customer history, and dynamic grounding works the way that it attaches some data from connected sources. And here on the slide you see the power of semantic retrieval, which is another buzzword attached to Einstein Trust Layer and AI, because semantic retrieval can understand, okay, so what is relevant to the case, and attach this specific knowledge article that might help to solve the case for the customer.
Okay. Another point is the data security. So we said we won't share private information, your PII, your confidential information. So the Einstein Trust Layer will also have data masking. So we will search for PII, so the customer name, phone numbers, email addresses, banking information. So all of that security number, and it will identify those PII and change with another placeholder. The trust layer will keep track of the original value and the data that has been masked, in order to then retrieve the information. So it is exactly what you will be able to send to your external LLM. So the LLM will never retrieve information that are critical or private. Then we had something else, which is the prompt defense. You can see that just make sure that someone will not be able to add information into your prompt first, and second, making sure that the external system will not make assumptions on data that are not your data. So basically, you will just ask to generate the content only based on the information that you will send to the external system. A lot of the magic of ChatGPT, for instance, it's because it learns from elsewhere. It learns for every request that you're creating, it will learn from that. You don't want to have an answer that is based on another one context. So here, the prompt enclosure, which is making sure to defend your prompt. No information that are not coming from me. And if you are not sure, if you don't have enough information, do not try to guess an answer. Just tell me you don't know. This is also a limitation for what we call AI hallucinations. So the system, by that way, will be more relevant. We have secured the data, masked the data, ensuring that the output will be correct. So now we go to the content generation. And for that, again, we have basically three main options. The first one, you can rely on the system that Salesforce itself will provide. So Salesforce will also run some LLM, and this is what Salesforce also has packed into the new AI cloud. So you will be able to run that, or you can use external models. Last options, you can also bring your own model. So good things is you have different options. So which one to use? So you can either train your own model or just rely on an existing model. So we have different options. The first one is Salesforce hosted. So you could just activate it. You have your bring your own model. So if you have a data scientist, you can bring on Amazon SageMaker or Vervex. And the last one that maybe you know, it's shared partner. So the trust partner for external system. Then the most famous one and trendy is OpenAI. So what should we do? The first one, should I train my model? If it's what you would like to do, you will have the most relevant output. But this comes with constraints. You need to train the model, and this takes months. This takes resources in terms of memory, CPU, storage, and you need a dedicated team of professionals like deep learning and language, natural language processing engineers. But you don't have to. You have different options. Another one is to use a pre-trained model and customize it. So open source model exists, and then you can train it on top to fine-tune. So you want to bring more relevancy by training the existing model. If you do that, the thing is you will also need time to do so. So actually you will have the same limitation. You need months to train the model, and you need also resources, competent resources, data scientists. The last one, actually is the easiest one, is to just rely on existing model. As I told you earlier, often the output might be too generic because those models are not trained on new data. So what we would do, we will use Einstein Trust Layer to ground the data and secure the data on top of those models. Shortest way. So we send the data. Two main information there. The first one, security, of course. Everything has been data mask, etc. first. But we will then encrypt the data before to send to the model. And second main information is the zero data retention policy. It's also a legal constraint that Salesforce made with OpenAI, so they have the specific strategic partnership. So when you send an information, the prompt is not stored, your data are not stored, they will not learn from them, they will just use it to generate the content, and after that, they delete everything. So here again, it's maybe the most important for any company to jump into this generative AI, making sure that their data are secured. And now the last part. The data is generated by the model. We will receive it. What should we do now on top of that? The first thing is the toxicity detection. So we have the output. As you can see, we still have our placeholder. And the toxicity detection is just to make sure that the system is not abusing the user. So we will check for like violent content or any profanity, swear words, any biased content based on maybe religion, sexual orientations, gender, and everything will be analyzed to give you a score, so from 0 to 1. And if the toxicity has been analyzed, it's okay. So you have the green light to pass the information to the users.
After toxicity detection, we are moving into data demasking part. So you should now know that in the process of creating a prompt, there was a part of like masking the data. So now it's time to unmask our data with all relevant information. Here you can see that data is fulfilled in the response back to the client information. And what is important, that service agent should control the output of the response. Like with the human brain, we still need to collaborate with AI. We couldn't rely fully on it. So, and it's done in a way of agent interaction. So an agent has a power to say, okay, I accept this response, or there should be some modification made, and service agent could make a modification to the built response. Then it can just be ignored. So these are the reaction that is stored under feedback store. So it can be like thumbs up, thumbs down, and some kind of feedback provided by the service agent. But it's not all, because there is also an audit trail. Audit trail helps to store timestamp metadata, which is the information about requesting user, the original prompt information, the original response information, as well as toxicity scores that Cyril mentioned before. And this all helps to maintain the security part of Einstein Trust Layer, so that it can learn in future, so how the responses and prompts were made. The thing is that, I like it, that we speak now about 20 minutes just explaining you the tool, but every single step, like, it works in a blink of an eye. So just like clicking the button, the prompt is generated, the response is generated, and service agent has this response at place. So it's just very quickly.
Yes, and last thing, because it has been mentioned in the keynote, Salesforce loves to rename products, right? So it's not because the Einstein Trust Layer is new that it has not that privilege too. So it has been announced in June as the Einstein GPT Trust Layer, and in July already renamed in Einstein Trust Layer, which is good because GPT, you might think it is GPT features, which is not. And to make more clear now for everyone, now they are also promoting the AI cloud, saying it is also part within in it. We don't know. So now when you will hear AI cloud, it's also Einstein Trust Layer in it. Salesforce really loves that.
So the thing is, just stay tuned. They will get the updates.
Last thing before the thank you, we have chocolates.
Yeah. And cookies.
We have Czech chocolate and Swiss chocolate. So feel free to come if you have any question. Maybe we ran over the time because of the technical constraint, but we're here to answer any of your questions. Thank you again, and I hope you enjoyed the session.
Okay, our response will be based on your prompt, okay? So just be careful of what you want to ask.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Merci.
We have 4 to 5 minutes if you have questions. If you don't, take yeah, first question, please. Good question. Everybody heard the question? Yes, no? The question was, how can we tell the system which data should be masked? basically, yes. Two things. Salesforce will analyze the data to recognize like email addresses, easy to find, phone numbers, banking information, so we can find that. And then in your configuration, you can also in the data model, you can define if the field is a personal information. So you can check that for that field, and Salesforce will know that that information is private or has a certain security level that you would like to add on that specific field. I saw someone with another question. Yeah. Nope. The feedback is on the content generated. And so the system will learn that it's not exactly the content that the user was expecting. And so it can adapt to learn from that also. It depends what kind of system you will use, because as I told you, you can leverage the one from Salesforce and then external ones and bring your own model. So if you bring your own model, you can also decide to train your model, and so you will need to learn. So it all